You've got a $200 budget and you're looking for a CS2 knife. Today we're going to find one that's best for you. The yours is case hardened. It's a bit of a weird knife to start with, but I'm a big fan of the lighting on the case hardened knives now. You're not going to get too much wear despite this thing being well worn, and case hardened knives for the most part tend to be cheaper and within this $200 budget, so you've got plenty of options. The Paracord blue steel in minimal wear is nice too. I will say it does have a bit of wear for some reason, but it's fairly clean relative to the other options and is one of the few different knives besides the cheap navajas, gut knives, and stuff like that you'll find under $200. It's one of the more unique knives. The survival knife Crimson Web in Battle Scarred. If you want your friends to think you're rich, this is a great choice because somehow this knife is battle scarred. It doesn't even show any wear at all, and it's surprisingly one of the cheapest options, sub $200. But before we continue, let me tell you how to actually get these knives for sub $200. CSGO Empire has a ton of skins listed at cheaper than buff price, and you might be thinking, isn't that a gambling site? Partially, but not entirely. They have an entire marketplace dedicated to peer-to-peer buying and selling with 0% fees, and if you sort by the best deals, you'll easily find stuff cheaper than buff. As you can see here, these gloves are 3.36% off. You can easily flip them for profit, and Empire also offers any deposit method you could think of, including many different cryptos and real money options. And you're able to withdraw with all of these options, including USDC, which you could turn to cash instantly. Of course, there's no wager requirement on any deposit either, so be sure to check them out with that link in the description and start getting skins for cheaper than buff today. The Huntsman Rust Coat. I know what you're saying, it's a rust coat, but this knife is surprisingly only just over $100. It's got a nice animation, and me personally, I don't really mind the rust coats, especially for this price. Like, you could get 2 of them for this price easily. But if you want to use the full $200 budget for one knife, slaughter knives are some of the best options. You can get shadow daggers in factory new for $199. They don't really show any wear at all, so you could also just get minimal wear for $177. Then the gut knife in factory new and the navaja in factory new are also around $180, so it's just up to your preference. If you're building a red themed inventory, they're a good cheap way to get started too. And if you don't like the slaughters, the tiger tooth skins are another option for these 3 knives specifically as well. They're slightly cheaper and still incredibly clean. There is so many different options out there. No matter which site you use, you can literally just cap the price at $200 and just search knife and get a rough idea of everything out there. The ones I picked in this video, I would consider the cleanest, and besides this, you're really just going to find a bunch of like stain knives, which aren't bad, or a bunch of just urban masks, some really ugly skins in there, but these are some of the cleanest and they're the ones I recommend. But if you want to save money, once again, use that link in the description to get that knife for the cheapest priced out there.